Well, hello there, and welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Debbie Georgiani with Jerry Usher and you, and we're talking food today on Take Two. So we know the phone lines will just be completely full, and you'll keep them full the entire hour. Why? Because we're talking food, and food brings everyone together on the day before Thanksgiving. Jerry, I love this topic. Thanksgiving dishes. What are you cooking for the holiday? I think we can get some good recipes exchanged, some good ideas, and we can just kind of get ready for that exciting feast tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I got a little chuckle there. You were talking about, we're going to be talking about food today, and the lines will be full. And I thought food and full go together very well at Thanksgiving.
Right.
So, yeah, we want to just have a little informal chat today about what your plans are for Thanksgiving. Maybe you've got, that giant turkey that you do every year. Maybe you got some special dishes, family traditions. What are you planning for tomorrow? Maybe the long weekend as well. Join us, get on early, and you get on the show at 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986.
Okay, so I'm very particular about Thanksgiving. Very particular. I just want to state right up front, I love Pepperidge Farm stuffing. Okay, I stovetop I can handle, but I love Pepperidge Farm. Did you ever hear of Pepperidge Farm where you grew up? Did you?
Oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right. Just want to make sure because sometimes it's regional or whatever. Okay. So I love Pepperidge Farm stuffing. I love it. My mother did not make the stuffing with the turkey. Like, you know how sometimes it's like inside the turkey. My mother didn't do it that way. She made it separate. And then we had it obviously with the gravy. It was fantastic. And then I love cranberry sauce without the actual cranberries in it. I like it just the smooth without any of that texture. And so I'm very particular, and I love mashed potatoes, string bean casserole. And I could, I could take or leave the turkey because I'm not really a big, an overly, big meat eater. So, but anyway, I'm very particular. How about you, Jerry? That's what we want to hear with our listeners. What are they cooking? Give us some recipes. Do you have any particular dishes that you just have to have every Thanksgiving is where I'm going with this?
Well, I have something that I definitely have to have at the holidays, and I actually made some yesterday, and it's clam dip. You've heard me talk about that before. That became a holiday tradition for me and my family when we were growing up because a good friend of my sister's, they were cheerleaders together in high school, shared the recipe. So our sister started making it. And so for years now, 40, 50 years, we've been having clam dip around the holidays. As far as a turkey, I just have a small little, I don't even know what you call it. It's not a turkey, but it's the
like
turkey
a rotisserie
breast.
type turkey?
Yeah, but there's no bones or anything like that. It's just all meat.
Oh, okay.
So because,
like
my
turkey
housemate
breast.
and I, there's just two of us to feed in the house here.
Okay.
So except for Duke, there's three really, and Duke will probably end up getting half of that turkey breast anyway. But other than that, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to do. I have stovetop. I'm going to do stovetop. Got fresh potatoes. We'll boil them up and do mashed potatoes and green beans and corn. And I'm going to pick up some of the cranberry sauce, but I'm going to get it with the fruit in it, not just the plain stuff.
Like it.
Yeah, I do like it with the fruit in it. Yeah.
Okay. So we do have a little bit of a difference there. Wow, that's a big difference between us.
Wow, that rarely happens.
I know. What about sweet potatoes? See, do you like the sweet potatoes with like the marshmallows and all that kind of stuff?
I do, kind of. I usually don't cook them, but if I'm at a place, like when my sister was alive, she would throw on, the Thanksgiving to remember, she would have that and pea salad and all kinds of other things. So, but I personally don't do, I like sweet potatoes. I just probably won't cook them tomorrow.
Now, I will tell you, in my family, I remember there were several years we did have the whole full turkey, everything and all the fixings, but we also had eggplant parmesan.
Of course,
which was great for me because I didn't eat much turkey, so it was fabulous for me. Maybe that's why I have such a deep love for eggplant parmesan. Okay, so let's hear from you now. Fill up those phone lines. Get your fill of all this food we're talking about, and then look at how great it is. No calories. We're just talking food. No calories are associated with it. So here is the number: 833-288-3986. Maybe you can share some family traditions like the dip that the clam it's clam, just considered clam dip. Is that the name of it? Okay.
That's it,
so
yeah.
Okay, so maybe you could share that, like a family, that was very particular to your family, a recipe, something we could share. Let's just get excited about getting into the holiday season and being with family and friends. Please fill up those phone lines. I know you're busy shopping, getting last minute details, picking up people at the airport. We get it, but we need you to stop and participate, and you don't have to be Catholic to call in. That's the cool thing. 833-288-3986.
You could also email take2@ewtn.com. We have a show website. You can sign up to get notifications about each day's show. Or we have the prayer book is online electronically as well at the show website, take2show.com. And if you're among the many watching on YouTube and Facebook, we are waving at you there. And you can just post your comments there, and Jeff Burson will get those over to us. And I think that covers everything, how you can contact us at 833 288-3986. Calls are coming in, so get on board.
Okay, quick. Apple, cherry, pumpkin pie. Which one?
Well, at Thanksgiving, it's got to be pumpkin.
Okay, yeah. With whipped cream or ice cream?
With Cool Whip on it, yeah.
Oh, cool. It has to be Cool Whip?
Well, I don't make my own whipped cream, so I should.
Oh, I love real whipped cream. I love it. It's amazing. Okay, so pumpkin pie, good. How about you, dear listeners? We want to hear from the Take Two family. Let's go. Let's get really excited. Get into that whole feeling of that. Just this wonderful festive, kind of desire and feeling and mood. It's a good thing, right? So let's start participating right now prior to Thanksgiving, because here's what happens, Jerry. We work, get everything together, get the house together, get the food together, get the meal preparation together. Everybody eats, and then falls asleep or watches football or something.
and then gets up and eat again. Yeah.
Right. So
that's why you have Thanksgiving dinner around 2 or 3 o'clock. So you're ready for another meal about 7.
That's right.
Then you really lay down on your bed and pass out for the night.
They say that heart attacks and things can happen after Thanksgiving because people eat way too much. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Jerry, I wanted to let you know on Facebook, you can always like us on Facebook. We have Jerry and Debbie Facebook. Jerry has his own personal Facebook. I have my own personal Facebook. But I'm getting some messages. They said yesterday we were quite entertaining and funny. So I guess we're keeping that trend. Maybe it's because we have a 4-day weekend coming up.
Yeah, we're giddy. We're excited. What about you, Take Two family? 2 phone lines open talking about Thanksgiving traditions, dishes, family things that you do. 833-288-3986.
This is Life Issues with Brad Mattis, president of Life Issues Institute.
In celebration of National Adoption Month, I'm bringing you this very special account of what several agencies and governmental services are doing to encourage potential adoptive parents to consider adopting an older child. They've produced and are airing special public service announcements promoting adoption based on true stories. I've got to tell you, they're very effective and incredibly touching. Kids who age out of foster care are much more likely to suffer from homelessness, substance abuse, unplanned pregnancy, unemployment, and more. Please prayerfully consider adopting an older child. One child advocate said, teens never outgrow the need for a healthy family. Watch the videos at lifeissues.org. Adoptive parents benefit too, and you can make such a difference in the life of a child.
Like us on Facebook at Life Issues and stay informed, more informed than you've ever been.
Take Two with Jerry and Debbie is on YouTube. Search YouTube to find the EWTN YouTube channel so you'll never miss an episode of our show or any of your favorite EWTN radio shows.
This is Father Joseph inviting you to sign up to receive weekly emails with my Advent reflections, plus a beautiful free ebook including all of the reflections. To get started, visit EWTN.com/Advent.
You are with Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you on EWTN Radio. You can call now and join the conversation about Thanksgiving dishes, dinners, meals, family traditions, things that you have discovered over the years. Maybe you had some things handed down through many generations in your family. 288-3986. And I want to tell you that Father Joseph's Advent and Christmas Reflections and ebook, the free ebook, is really blessing a lot of people at this time of the year as we head into Advent, and to help bring you closer to the infant Jesus and his Blessed Mother in the days leading up to the celebration of the Nativity. We would like to invite you to sign up to receive the weekly emails with Father Joseph's Advent and Christmas Reflections. In addition, we'd like to send you a beautiful free ebook, including all of those reflections. So you can visit EWTN.com/Advent today, and that will be sent out to you absolutely free.
Nice, nice. So this is how detailed Jerry and I get. On the break when we were talking with Ace McKay, our wonderful producer, I said to Jerry, so Jerry, this clam dip you're talking about, what do you eat it with? Pitas or a pita bread or chips or what? And he goes, it has to be Ruffles and it has to be a sturdy chip.
You can eat it with all those other things too, but just to preserve the pure flavor of the clam dip, I just like to eat it with just plain Ruffles with ridges.
Ruffles with ridges, okay. So if you had a flimsy chip, that wouldn't work.
No, not
that would be nasty.
Well,
Okay, let's hear.
You'd be licking it off your fingers if you did
that. Exactly. There is one open phone line, so if you'd like to jump in on this very entertaining discussion, now is the time to do it. Don't wait. Obviously, we can't do a part 2. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow. 833-288-3986. Please join us. We don't like to be alone. Kim is up first in southern Minnesota on Real Presence Radio. Hello, Kim. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hello, and same to you guys. I didn't know that this was National Adoption Month. I just heard that on an advertisement just a few minutes ago, and I'm adopted, so that's cool. Yeah. So I'm a newbie to your channel or to your station. I am on the support and advisory board at the Five Sisters Project, so I was sent a link to listen in this morning, and then I just kept listening and called in to share what we like to eat on Thanksgiving that my family really looks forward to. So
Sure.
Yeah. So I think it was already mentioned, the turkey, excuse me, sometimes isn't the most favorite thing. That's probably true in our house too, even though we still make it, but all the sides. But I make ham balls, and every year I think I'm going to make 1 more pound, and I do, and they're always all gone. So I actually buy the meat at a local meat market, and it's a mixture of ground ham and pork together. And then I put Ritz crackers in it and an egg and some onion. But the topping, I think, is what makes it the best. It's, excuse me, sweet baby rays and a little bit of orange juice and a little bit of brown sugar. So it's a spicy, a sour, and a sweet. And they're just devoured. So
wow.
That's what I do. Yeah, everybody looks forward to it.
This is going to be a tough show for me, Kim. Thank you for calling in, but the reason is I'm just having a routine physical right now. I went in to see the doctor the other day. Everything is fine, but he also wanted some labs, and I'm fasting this morning because I have to go in right after the show and get blood drawn, and I have to fast for that. So that sounds absolutely delicious, and I'm going to go back to listen to this the show again, Kim, and write down the ingredients that you just listed and try to make some myself. They sound absolutely fantastic.
Well, we're so glad, Kim. Thank you for the kind words of listening to this show and the station, and we hope you continue. That's wonderful because you're part of the family, so that's amazing. So I have to ask you this. So you said it has the sweet and it has the tangy and all that it mixed in with it. I'm a person that likes to visualize things. So when you say they're ham balls, is it like a meatball that you eat like with bread, or how do you eat it?
Sorry about that. Yeah, so I make them into like a ball, like a meatball, and then I pour this barbecue sauce, orange juice, and brown sugar over the top and just bake them. And they're just, slathered in it. And it's, I actually made them last week because we're traveling this year, and I wanted to get them done ahead of time and then bring them, heat them up. And I had 2 pans sitting out on the corner, and I had some friends stop by, and they're like, what are those? And I said, you want to try one? And all of a sudden, the 9x13 pan was completely gone. So I'm making another batch today.
Wow.
So.
Wonderful.
Wow. So they're popular. Well, you'll have to share with Kim what we have coming up because she'll appreciate this.
Yeah, on November 29th, Kim, our show is on adoption. We're going to be talking about that because you mentioned this is National Adoption Month, and we're going to ask people to tell their adoption stories, whether they are parents who adopted or somebody who was adopted by non-biological parents. So November 29th, if you are able to tune in that day, Kim, and we'd love to have you call in and weigh in on that conversation as well.
At the same time?
Yes, same time.
Okay, I would love to do that. I have found my birth mother. It's been a beautiful experience, so I'd love to share that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We will remember you and get you on the air on the 29th, Kim.
Sounds good. God bless you guys, and happy
God bless you.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving
Thanks,
to you
Kim.
too.
Happy Thanksgiving. That was a beautiful call.
It was. It was. 833-288-3986. Go ahead.
I wonder if the ham balls are kind of like Swedish meatballs or teriyaki, those teriyaki meatballs, because I agree with Kim. They are very popular because here's the problem with those. If they're quite small, you eat a lot of them. Have you ever noticed that? Like with Swedish meatballs, you can't just eat one. You eat like 7. Well, I do anyway. It's terrible because they has that flavor that you just go back for.
Well, as she was describing it, it sounded like something I think we used to have. It wasn't called a ham ball. I don't know what it's called actually, but it was like that Carl Buddig meat, the ham, the real thin stuff, all chopped up, and then cream cheese, and you make a ball like a log out of that.
Yeah,
and eat it on crackers. That's where I thought she was going with that, but it sounds even better than that.
Yeah, this sounds really good because she has a sauce on top. We love sauces. Jerry and I agree on that. We love sauces. Let's hear what Michael has to say. We're getting really giddy here, but it's good. We're getting ready. We're in that festive mood. Michael in Washington, D.C. on our friends at Guadalupe Radio Network on the app. Hello, Michael.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Doing well.
Good, good. You guys are killing me, though. You're making me hungry. It's terrible. I called in to tell you about sort of a surprise that I had one year at Thanksgiving. My wife's family is from the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, and being good Southern folks, they have some wonderful recipes. And the recipe that I most enjoyed was something called squash pudding. Now, when I heard about squash pudding, it didn't sound very appetizing. But then I learned that it's made with brown sugar and butter, and it turns out to be one of my favorite Thanksgiving treats. So I wanted to share that blessing with you as you guys are getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait a minute. Squash pudding, is this something you eat during the meal, or is this like for dessert? Because, sometimes some of it's during the meal.
Sure, it's during the meal. So it's a lot like, you would eat sweet potatoes that have, some marshmallow topping on them. But the squash pudding it's a vegetable. So I guess they get away with having it at dinner. But it's awful good. And it's very sweet because of the butter and the brown sugar. And the wonderful treat.
Yeah. Okay, I'm totally on to this, Michael. After the show, I'm totally internet searching it because I love butter and brown sugar. Oh, wow. That sounds good. Have you ever heard of it, Jerry?
I have not, no. But I, too, am going to look into this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell your wife she's amazing. What's her first name, Michael?
My wife's name is Laura, and we've been married 27 years, and she's the greatest thing in the world.
Oh, I
Beautiful.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. You're awesome, Michael. Thank you so much. Enjoy that squash pudding. And if we can't get to it this year because we were only one day away, we'll definitely have it on our menus for next year. So thank you for sharing.
God
bless you. Happy Thanksgiving, Michael. 833-288-3986. We have a couple open phone lines on our last live broadcast before we go into the Thanksgiving weekend. And we are talking about recipes and dishes that you cook and family traditions and some of your favorite things that you like to prepare and eat this year and share with your family and maybe even your neighbors. So please weigh in on this. Everybody's got something to say about this topic. 833-288-3986. And we have Sue in Massachusetts next, listening on the Station of the Cross. Hi, Sue.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. Better now that you called.
Oh, good. Happy Thanksgiving to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
I just wanted to share, at Thanksgiving, we usually have like a pumpkin pie, an apple pie, a blueberry pie, but I always have to make a chocolate cream pie, and made from scratch, so it's really delicious. And, it never lasts.
Okay, so Sue, happy Thanksgiving to you. I have to jump in because chocolate cream pie is my all-time favorite. I love the French silk pies that you get at some of the bakeries where it has a very fluffy thin crust. It has the beautiful rich chocolate, not over the top where it's it's too much chocolate, but then it has the whipped cream because you can have a really wonderful cup of coffee with that, and it is like to die for. Am I right?
It is. It really is. My family likes the graham cracker crust, so I always have to do it with that. And it is delicious. And then the whipped cream on top just puts it overboard.
Oh yeah,
Sounds
every
like
bite is. Oh yeah, every bite's amazing. Are you big on chocolate? Because I don't ever see you. I never saw you eat chocolate a lot. You don't eat it a lot, do you?
I love chocolate. Absolutely.
You do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Wow.
don't eat a whole lot of it. Just for health purposes. I don't
Like
wanna
dark chocolate?
overdo it. Yeah, I love dark chocolate. Yeah, but this chocolate cream pie, Sue, you're talking about sounds like lights out. Like you said, eat a big Thanksgiving meal, have a piece of that with a cup of coffee or eggnog or tea or something, and then it's just like, show me the way to the pillow.
Yeah.
I love it. How many pies did you make, Sue? 1 or 2 or 3?
I'm only making one this year because my family has kind of spread out their Thanksgiving. So, but usually I will make 2, and they're always gone. All gone.
I'll bet.
There's always a little bit of pumpkin left and a little bit of blueberry left, but chocolate cream is always gone.
Wow, that's got to
Awesome.
make you feel good because they're recognizing your ability to bring such joy to them as they eat the cream pie. Yeah. Way to go, Sue. Home run. Love it. Now that's getting me. I'm going to have to go to like Village Inn or something after the show, too, because I think they have chocolate cream pie there.
Thank you, Sue. Have a blessed
Thanks, Sue.
Thanksgiving with the ones you love. 833-288-3986. We got Mary, who's been holding patiently in Spokane, Washington, listening on Guadalupe Radio Network online. Hi, Mary. Welcome.
Hi, Mary.
This is Mary Rita, actually.
Oh, Mary Rita. Beautiful names.
So the dressing I make is a family recipe that basically you use dried bread, all the leftover bread from the year, poultry seasoning, broth, eggs. We have an annual Thanksgiving social to celebrate the founding of our parish in '99. I made a large crock pot full, and it was gone.
Wow. Wow. So you make it with rye bread. That's fascinating. I love rye bread.
I didn't have any rye bread on hand. I just had some. But there were some jalapeno muffins and some corn muffins with
Nice.
restaurant bread mixed in. The other thing I make my own cranberry sauce. So yes,
Wow.
it has the berries in it. But that's made with cranberries, apples, although I've got a large pear harvest this year, so I'll use pears. And concentrated frozen apple juice for sweetness. Probably throw some ginger in. The vending nut company in Fort Worth, and actually I'm not from Spokane, Washington, Leader, Texas, but they have large pieces of candied ginger. I'll mix some of that in, orange zest, and just cook it down.
Nice.
You sound so much like my late sister, whose name was Mary, by the way. I don't recall if I've ever made dressing from scratch. I certainly have never made cranberry sauce from scratch. And all these things that you're talking about, Mary Rita, it just shows, you do these things, it's a labor of love. And I know that your love has to come through to all of those who dine with you at this time of the year. I would love to be a part of your family and come over for Thanksgiving dinner sometime. Everything you described sounds absolutely delicious.
Yeah, I agree. Good job, Mary Rita. A happy Thanksgiving. Way to go.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
God
Okay,
bless.
it just jogged my memory. I know who you are. I just remembered. You're the one you're the one that every time I used to get a candy bars at the stations, I would eat the whole candy bar and you only ate a little piece of it and put it away. That's you, isn't it?
Yeah, I can make a candy bar last about a week. Not the minis, of course.
Yeah, that's
All right,
right. That's
get a hold of
who
us
you
here,
are.
833-288-3986. We'll get you right on the air talking about holiday traditions, recipes, family things that you like to do. Let's hear from you.
Father Joseph Mary, Dan and Stephanie Burke, Bear Wozniak.
The leading Catholic voices are on the largest Catholic media network in the world. You're listening to the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network. The destination for great Catholic audio programming is EWTN Podcast Central, featuring the best of EWTN radio, as well as faith-filled podcasts from our friends and affiliates across the nation, all in one place, all free. If it's central to the faith, you can find it on EWTN Podcast Central. It's like podcast heaven. Visit EWTN.com/radio/podcasts today.
This is Father Gerald Murray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. God our Father in heaven, we turn to you in sorrow for the great crime of abortion in our country and in so many other countries throughout the world. We know what grave offense this gives to you, the loving Creator. We ask you to forgive all of us for any passivity in allowing this crime to continue. Give us a strong and true heart to fight against this injustice. We also pray for all those who have been affected by abortion. Bring them your healing grace. Bring to repentance those who are involved in this crime, and bring your justice to bear on our nation, so that we might live according to the highest standards of your law, liberty, justice, and life for all. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Hi, this is Janet Williams. You don't have to be a woman to enjoy Women of Grace tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Great discussion we're having on the menu for Thanksgiving, and everybody's giving their great ideas and recipes. I loved Mary Rita's call with the stuffing. You know, that's real homemade stuffing. I think that is amazing. But I will tell you, our Pepperidge Farm family members, Take Two family members, are weighing in. Mary Beth and Elizabeth came in strong, saying we're making our Pepperidge Farm stuffing tomorrow, and smooth cranberry too. LOL. So happy Thanksgiving. That's awesome. Okay, so before we get back to the phones, you can join us. This is a great discussion. Share your Thanksgiving plans. 833-288-3986. Jerry, I wanted to do a big shout out to one of our great radio partners who really need our help next week. Why? Because they're really big and they're raising the necessary funds. Guadalupe Radio Network is airing their Fall Share-a-thon next Tuesday through Friday on over 40 stations serving 6 states plus Washington, D.C. Big network, listener supported, so we all have to show up in a big way. No matter where you're listening, please support your Catholic radio station. I love that Guadalupe Radio Network is having their Fall Share-a-thon next week. I hope they have full participation. And I understand there's another one having their pledge drive as well.
Yeah, if you're listening in central Kansas, your Catholic station needs to hear from you next week as well. Divine Mercy Radio is airing their Fall Carathon next Tuesday through Friday. So if you're listening in the Great Bend, Hayes, Colby, Lindsborg, or anywhere else, please support your Catholic radio station, Divine Mercy Radio. Without them, there would be no Take Two with Jerry and Debbie or any of the other fine EWTN shows that are on the air.
That's right. So when your stations come to you and say, now's the time, fall, spring, winter, summer, please step up in a big way and tell your friends, call your friends and give them the pledge line number. Okay, we're going to go back to the phones, and I'm so glad our friend Cheryl from Lake Havasu City, Arizona on YouTube, we're waving to you, Cheryl, called in because, Cheryl, you're going to remind us all of something, and I forgot to wear my St. Vincent de Paul hat, which I had planned on wearing today. So, Cheryl, take it away.
Oh, thank you. Stay happy Thanksgiving to the both of you. Now, I just called to remind that many people that don't have families and that don't have nobody, especially for the poor and the homeless and needy, that Vincent de Paul's is also collecting a lot of the food to give out to those people. And that many of the Knights of the Columbus churches that the Catholic churches belong to, many of the Knights of Columbus halls, since a lot of people don't have any family whatsoever, they are also preparing Thanksgiving meals so people can be able to go to share Thanksgiving with others as well. And the Catholic churches that do have kitchens, they are also preparing Thanksgiving meals to them. So
we couldn't agree. Yeah, we couldn't agree more, Cheryl. Let me just share with you, Jerry and I are big supporters and promoters of St. Vincent de Paul. They're doing a fine job getting out there into the communities and helping families. And I will tell you, because of people, in their own kind of, situation in life, people are forgetting that there are others that really need assistance right away. And so St. Vincent de Paul is always there. And so I agree, the more we can mention it, because we hear it when we come out of church, St. Vincent de Paul's there. They have announcements and they're collecting, food and funds. But I think if we remind each other often, it will prompt people to pick up the phone or go down to their local St. Vincent de Paul chapter and make a donation. I couldn't agree more, Jerry.
I agree completely as well, and it's one of the joys of the holiday season that it brings out really the best in just about everyone, helping those who can't maybe put together a holiday like the rest of us can in terms of food and family and gifts at Christmas and all of that. So it really is touching to hear of the sacrifices that people make, the money that they donate or the food that they donate. So yeah, as Debbie said, Cheryl, I'm equally glad that you called in and shared this reminder with us today. Did you have anything else you wanted to share?
No, just for people to remember others, especially the needy and the homeless, the people who don't have any family or anything else like that, just to be able to remember them. Also, for them to guide them to either Knights of Columbus or the Catholic churches that do have kitchens, so they can be able to be happy that this very special holidays, that way they're not alone or anything else like that. Because everybody does need to be able to be happy at least at some time in their life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, and the holidays are a time when it's really hard for some people to be happy, to find joy, to find peace in their lives. And so, yeah, I agree with you, Cheryl. Go to talk to the Knights of Columbus, St. Vincent de Paul. My parish has a food pantry, very, very active, very large, busy food pantry as well, that we give out food to those who need it. So, Cheryl, thank you so much. We're going to pray for you and your family that you have a most blessed Thanksgiving, Advent coming up, and Christmas season as well, if we don't hear from you before then. Thank you, Cheryl, so much.
Yes, that was a beautiful call. Okay, so let's hear what Rebecca has to say in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's another city I like to say. It just kind of rolls off your tongue. Sirius XM 130. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello. There's an old joke that one of the Marx brothers used to do, that it was easier to kill elephants in Alabama because the Tuscaloosa.
Well, and Rebecca, I presume you can't say the word Tuscaloosa without saying Roll Tide at the same time, right?
Right. Yep. I have an odd comment, I guess. I'm a widow, and I have no family left alive, and I don't get a kickback from Publix, and I don't work there, but I really do appreciate Publix packaging dressing and sweet potato casserole and things like that in small servings for people like me.
Sure.
And we have our church also puts together baskets for people to come and get that has a $10 gift certificate in it for meat, and then a shopping list of foods that we buy to put in the sacks. So there are people I know out there, like the previous caller said, that really don't have family to go to. But I've got a good church family, and I'm going to have Thanksgiving with the Lord.
Awesome. Awesome, Rebecca. Yeah, you brought up another interesting point that we, I think maybe there's more of a trend in this direction, and it seems that way to me, and that is, a lot more individuals, couples, families are turning to, prepared meals, like your supermarkets prepare those. I know Costco has a 4-section plastic thing with turkey and dressing and green beans and something else. And then a lot of people actually are going out for dinner on Thanksgiving more than I think Debbie maybe used to be in, like when we were growing up. It just seems like a lot more people are doing that too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And people are getting creative on what they're doing on Thanksgiving. I know a lot of people, I have a lot of friends that go to the movies on Thanksgiving. They do all sorts of activities. And they kind of just make it a little bit different than the standard, everybody around the dinner table for several hours and then on the couch and watching TV. So, I mean, people are getting creative, and a lot of friends' Thanksgiving parties are happening, and a lot of people, neighbors, parishioners, people are doing a lot of stuff like that. So yeah, and here's the most important thing, Rebecca. I think I agree with you. I love individual servings or smaller portions because I personally think portions are too big anyway, but that's a whole nother topic. But Rebecca, I just wanted to say that's the reason why we do Take Two is we really and truly believe in the Take Two family. Just as you were talking, Gigi, who is the facilitator of our Inspired by Faith Fellowship Facebook group, and you're welcome to join us, Rebecca. We're family, and we're all together, and we're journeying together. So, stay connected with us because you're family to us, and we love you.
Thank you so much. The price of groceries has gotten so high that that's the reason a lot of people are choosing to eat out too.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Well, have a blessed Thanksgiving, Rebecca. Thank you so much for the call. We appreciate that. At 833-288-3986. There is that line open there. You call now, you're going to get on the show, and you can share the menu for your Thanksgiving dinner. Are you having dinner alone? Are you going to family? Is it friends? Is your parish putting on a Thanksgiving dinner? If you're cooking, what kinds of things are you going to be doing? Do you do them from scratch? Do you kind of do a little bit of both, a little hybrid, some prepared stuff, some scratch stuff? That's our conversation today at 833-288-3986.
And if you do want to join our Inspired by Faith Fellowship Facebook group, just go to our website, take2show.com. Or you can, is it there? I think the fellowship is there. Or you can go to or better yet, go to standtalltoday.com and you'll find all of us there. Standtalltoday.com or take2show.com. I can't remember, Ace, you'll have to tell us if the fellowship club can be accessed through the take2show.com just to make sure yes, it can. Okay, Ace is right on top of things. That's why he's the producer and we're not.
Right.
So, so you can access it there. Take2show.com or standtalltoday.com and join us because we don't want anyone, we want the family to grow, and that's a beautiful thing. It's on the left side of the main page. Okay, so Diane is up next, Jerry, in Bedford, Massachusetts on the Station of the Cross. Hello, Diane.
Debbie, how are you today?
Great. How are you?
Doing well.
I'm quite busy doing a lot of cooking, as a lot of people are. I think tradition is just a little bit different, I think, than what a lot of people do. We do a traditional Thanksgiving meal with immediate family, and we've recently started in the evening gathering with neighbors in the backyard around a fire pit and having a collective neighborhood dessert together so we can all at home, which is wonderful. But the unusual thing that we do, or thing that's a little bit different, is we have a pizza day the day after Thanksgiving, and it originated in that being one of 4 children, and as everybody grew up, everybody needed to be with in-laws, and I didn't get to get together with my brothers and their kids, so one day one year, my husband and I started a pizza day the next day, and we make all-around dough. We make a bunch of different sauces and toppings, and everybody comes with their kids. We'll have over 24 people here, and we will make homemade pizzas, and then for all the kids, they have gingerbread houses to decorate afterwards. We started this when the kids were really little, when my nephews were really little, and the youngest one is graduating from college this year, and they all come and all look forward to it. So we have the blessing of being able to all be together on the weekend. It may not be on Thanksgiving Day, but we get to have that family time, and we all look forward to it.
I love that idea, pizza day.
Yeah, right. Debbie's 100% Italian, and Diane, if you didn't know that already, you probably did.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that just totally won me over. I love that. That makes my heart just burst. I love that. Great idea. So I don't know if I heard you correctly. Do you bring these pizzas in, or are you making them from scratch at home? I don't know if I picked up on that.
We've been making pizza dough all week, and we make our own sauces, a white sauce and pesto sauce from the basil from the garden, and tomato sauce, and we do roasted butternut squash with fig and Alfredo. So we do all this. We put it together, so many combinations, and the kids love it. And now the kids, when they were little, and you had to have hand over hand having them pat out the dough. Now the older ones are helping my grandchildren pat out the dough, and no, this is the way you do it. And they make these gourmet-looking swirly pizzas, and it's wonderful. It's just a blessing to be able to gather and have everybody look forward to it. And yeah.
So I had to get the scenario down, how the circumstances were. So I wasn't sure if some were made homemade, and then other people brought pizzas from outside. So this gets even better and better as you're talking, Diane. And so I got to thinking, if we have, if we happen to pick a pilgrimage next year, right around Thanksgiving, maybe Jerry and I could just slip right into your family. You'd never even notice us.
Nope, absolutely. We've always had college roommates, and I think this year we're having a new coworker that's just moved from Texas, maybe a coworker of one of my daughters who just moved here and doesn't have any family, and she's spending Thanksgiving with us and the pizza day and stuff. So we welcome all.
Very
Well, that's awesome. Diane, what you did is you did more than just kind of share some details of, recipes about food. You told a story here on the program today, a family story, the history of your family and how that's being passed down to the next generation. And I think that is so beautiful. It's a unique thing that has obviously, like you said, kept the kids coming back and now their kids. And so this is really special to me. This is one of the things that the holidays are all about, I think, Debbie.
Absolutely. Diane, way to go. What a beautiful family tradition. It's going to carry on to the next generation, the next generation. That's a home run. And then I love how you get together with neighbors. I think that's extraordinary. Way to go, Diane. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining this conversation. I have to just share this because we are getting messages coming in that we have to make sure we state this. Thanksgiving and all the holidays can sometimes be hard for people, especially if you had loss in your family or something has happened like a divorce or something of that nature, or an illness or something. And that can really bring on the blues and kind of get you down. And that's why I brought this up. If you're ever feeling alone, please, there's always free consultations at standtalltoday.com, and you can speak to a certified life coach just to even talk for 15 minutes, just so you know you're not alone. And so you can just visit us there. I just want to put out that invitation for those free consultations, just so you just never feel like you're out there in the middle of the ocean. Sometimes I've felt like that a few times, and it's a tough place to be, Jerry.
It is. We'll get to the next call in a moment. I want to tell all of you about Conversations with Consequences, Saturdays 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on EWTN Radio. It's a program of the Catholic Association, and it features conversations about the topics that matter to an educated and well-formed Catholic audience. And this week, the conversation with Melissa Overmeyer, and they discuss her new book about worry, and they'll also be talking about the organization Walking with Moms, which helps moms who want to choose life for their babies. That's Conversations with Consequences. Saturdays, 2 different air times, 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. on EWTN Radio.
Okay, this sounds delicious. Linda sent this in from Oklahoma. She says you have to try her brisket. I love brisket. You get a crock pot sized brisket, 6 potatoes, 2 onions, 2 packets of taco seasoning, a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's on low overnight. Okay, so that's for the crock pot. And in the morning, add 2 cans of baked beans. Okay, that sounds delicious. That is amazing. I love brisket. Do you like brisket?
I do. I love it.
You
Absolutely.
do? Okay, yeah. Brisket was like a main entree for my in-laws because they loved brisket, and so we had brisket all the time. That's when I was first introduced. I never was introduced to brisket growing up, so it was really quite fascinating. Okay, so let's hear what Donna has to say in Franklin, Massachusetts on the EWTN app. Hello, Donna. Welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Certainly can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so our family this year, we're doing a little bit different kind of Thanksgiving. We are Brazilians, and the World Cup is on, and tomorrow is going to be Brazil's game. And so we are doing Thanksgiving / game day. We're decorating green and yellow. But we'll still have a turkey, but with a Brazilian twist to it. We are having typical Brazilian food, which one of it is feijão tropeiro, which has beans, and it's kind of like a stuffing sort of texture, but it has beans, it has bacon, it has some yuca, it's kind of like grains and dried kind of thing. So, what else it has? It has sausage. It's very popular in the state I'm from in Brazil, which is called Minas Gerais. And we're also going to have polenta, which is also a big thing there. Polenta, we do a lot of it there. So we're having this is the first time we're doing this kind of mix, which is, getting together for Thanksgiving, but celebrating a game, and so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, well, if Brazil pulls off the win tomorrow, you may have a whole lot more to be thankful for. I know
Right.
it's still early in the World Cup, but Brazil is. I watch it I think it's on every 4 years, and I watch it and I see how powerful Brazil is. So I wish them well, definitely. And it just shows, it proves again, Donna, there is no one size fits all Thanksgiving menu. I mean, we have all the staples, the turkey, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the green beans, but when you add your own, like an ethnic twist, for example, it's got to really make it extra special. I'm sure you're probably the envy of your neighborhood.
Oh, I totally agree. And then to have the sporting event to watch together, it's going to be. You can just hear it. You can hear the loudness of that. Everybody excited and cheering the team on. So it's going to be fun. Are you looking forward to it?
Yes, I am. We're gonna start early because the game starts at 2. So we're gonna have early lunch and then hang out for the game. There's typical drinks that we're gonna make, and I'm gonna make a dessert that I usually make, which is flan. And that's gonna wrap up our day, the dessert and everything. So
very cool.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a great time. If you feel so inclined, always you can always send us a group picture of everybody having fun, and the festivities of the day, and that's open for any of the Take Two family. We love pictures of family pictures. So take it to at EWTN.com. Donna, have a beautiful and blessed day tomorrow.
Thank you. You guys too. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Amen. All right, Felicia is next in Oklahoma City, listening on Sirius XM 130. Greetings to you, Felicia. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. I am so glad to share this story with you.
Good.
That my husband and I had a dress factory. My husband was a clothing designer, and we made a lot of prom dresses, bridal, bridesmaids, things like that. And over the course of years, we had probably 33 seamstresses at any given time. And one year, I think it was about 1990-ish, one of the employees that was from Vietnam said, "What is this Thanksgiving?" And I said, "Okay, well, we're thankful for everything." But I elaborated and told her the story of Thanksgiving. Now, I am Native American, so I put emphasis, of course, on the Native American. And they just found it so interesting. So as the conversation grew, we decided to have a big Thanksgiving on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So we closed the factory, and we had the Vietnamese bring Vietnamese food, the Koreans brought Korean food, the Italians brought Italian food, the Mexicans brought their food. We had Liberia, trying to think of different, we had a Turkish guy, one woman from Iraq, and of course over the years they would filter in and out, but we shared a huge international Thanksgiving, and it was always so great. We all learned about each other's food, and of course we were kind of a family anyway, but to just share, and that was the opportunity I took to let them know how thankful we are for everything that God gives us, especially for the jobs and, of course, our company, and trying to keep everything going. And my husband would hand out his bonuses at that time, for the holidays so they could use it. And as the years grew, now we did go ahead and close the shop in about 2005, and since my husband has since passed away. But for years we played bingo. And I just laminated some big cards, just pictures, like Santa's sleigh, Rudolph, things that, because some of them did not speak English, but I could hold up the picture of the sleigh and they could match it on their bingo card. And so we'd play maybe a dozen games of bingo with really good prizes. So they loved it. And every year, are we going to do bingo and Thanksgiving this year? Yeah, we're going to do it. And I always let them bring their kids if they wanted, or their family. And it was just huge. And of course, our business grew, and as did our employees.
Yeah, well, it's no surprise, Felicia, that your business grew because you were very generous. God is going to pour blessings upon people like you and your husband because, you it sounds like you kind of shut the factory down for a day, so that was probably revenue that you could have made on that particular day. But you really wanted to honor the dignity of your employees, and it sounds like you were very generous and gracious in having people, like you said, from all different parts of the world or different ethnicities, if you will. And I can only imagine that how much they appreciated that, and you described how much you and your husband gained from that and the blessings that were in that for you. So beautiful, beautiful story, don't you think, Deb?
Yeah, I loved how you said an international Thanksgiving. I love that, an international celebration. So we're so sorry for the loss of your husband. He sounded like a great man. I have the prayer book out. Would you like to give us his first name?
His name is Mo.
Mo. Okay. Beautiful. Well, you're a special couple. You're a power couple. I love that. You really touched heart and souls with everybody. It's obvious, everybody you worked with. So way to go. That is beautiful. Thank you so very much, and happy Thanksgiving to you, Jerry. We're not going to get to Gail. Gail has some great tips, I think, on leftovers, or a great creative idea on leftovers. You would love that. You love leftovers.
Gail, Gail in North Dakota, if you would please email that to us, we would be very, very grateful. I'm so sorry we're out of time, but our producer Ace McKay is on the controls, and he drives a hard drives a hard bargain here. He doesn't give us any leeway here because other shows coming up next year on the program. And Gail, please email us take2@EWTN.com because you'll give us some ideas of what we can do with our leftovers.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Why don't you share with our listeners what's coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow is a taped show, obviously, and it's with Father Chris Alar. Mm-hmm. He is with the Marians of the Immaculate Conception, and we're going to be talking about suicide. But it's not a downer show, folks. It's a very hope-filled show. Mm-hmm. If you've ever been touched, if your life has been touched by the suicide of someone you know, please don't miss the show tomorrow with Father Chris Alar.
And that's his family story he's going to be talking about tomorrow, so you definitely don't want to miss it, folks. Jerry and I and the whole entire show team, we want to wish you a beautiful and blessed Thanksgiving and the entire weekend, and we'll see you